In Mexico, there's a detention center where they hold people that are traveling from like Central America upwards.
You mean like it's like the like you're not from around here, are you? You got to get rounded up.
I think
Detention center.
No, it's kind of like where you end up being held when you're, let's say you want to claim asylum or you want to like migrate north. You pass through, you get processed. They got to vet who you are.
Oh, like a refugee situation.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So it's kind of like I'm guessing it's sort of like in Scarface in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So they end up in these processing centers for a pretty long time sometimes, and then sometimes they just end up getting deported back. Other times they get granted entry. And for some reason, one of the migrants in there started a fire inside the detention center by like lighting up the mattresses.
God damn it.
Was he trying to do a barbecue or something?
That's usually how you do a barbecue, light up a mattress inside a detention center.
So the fire started, and usually like the staff of the detention center is supposed to open the doors when that happens because there's no other way out. They didn't do that, and 39 people died.
Oh, 39?
Yeah, all of them migrants. Yeah.
What did they do? Were they like, oh well, we can't afford letting them loose into our society, so they just left. They just, what do we do?
It's kind of weird because at first I was like, yeah, are they supposed to just like? Is it really just let them out or not? But apparently they're now being charged. Some of the
With murder?
that are the staff that were supposed to act at that moment are being charged as well as
With like second-degree murder?
as well as the person that started the fire. Yeah. Because,
Wait, the guy that started the fire, he's alive?
yeah.
What a fucking scumbag, dude.
Starts the fire and runs?
Yeah,
Wait.
so-
Was the guy who started a fire one of the people that was supposed to be held in detention?
Yeah.
So do you think, how did he get out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did he
I
survive?
don't know.
That's crazy.
Were there people that were like working at the detention center that got harmed too? Or is it
Just
just
39 people that died were migrants.
Fuck.
Yeah. There are people that did get hurt. I think there's like 17 or 18 people that have injuries, and they
Were
might
they
be.
in the moment like jiggling their keys like who's got the key? And then they're trying to get the right key and
That's
shit?
kind of not that, but it does explain that
Were
there
they
were
just
like.
stupid?
It does explain that there were like a couple guards in front of the door, just kind of running back and forth, not knowing what
panicking.
to do.
Jesus.
Kind of a deal.
That's one of my biggest fears is like
Freezing like
I
that?
know there's so many stupid people that like have responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So like when it comes to like the system, like the government or people who's in charge of law enforcement, you better fucking hope the person that's processing you or whatever has common sense or has a quick wit or whatever, because if you got a dumbass, these kind of things happen.
Or if you got keys like this.
Oh,
Holy shit.
you'll be a genius, and that's like solving a fucking Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, dude, this is Ryan's keys. We
I know,
have
there's
been
so
wondering for a
many.
long time what the fuck is all this for.
I'll explain them.
And he reduced it. He used to have more.
I had way
That
more
shit used to
than
look like a high school janitor's key set.
Yeah, I
Looks
had
like
way
it right
more than
now.
that. Looked like a public school district key set.
It's crazy that the guy who started the fire still made it out. Like I could understand if it's like maybe that guy knew the rules. It's like, well, I can't get out of this detention center, so if I start a fire, they by law or by code they have to open the doors or something like that. But the idea that like they couldn't open the doors and 39 other people died, but he still somehow got out.
Yeah, I'm like, how come no one
interesting.
follows suit or like
Yeah.
they already locked the door behind him?
That's the thing. Like I don't know how the building floor plan was, but it doesn't say that everybody in the building died. So like maybe just those 39 people just happened to be the ones
Just
that
stuck.
died of smoke inhalation. Could be.
When I think of detention centers, though, to me it just sounds like it looks like jail. Like there's cages, there's just like locks.
Just is on the floor everywhere.
Yeah.
Have you seen those things? It was highly politicized a couple years back.
Yeah.
We saw all of those.
Yeah, even in the beginning of Scarface, they started a fire to try
But they
to
have to do that because they have to do like quick little background checks, right? To see if like, are you guys cartel? Are you kidnapped? Are you whatever? Like, are you who you say you are? Are you a fugitive? And then they have to go through all the checks and stuff, and then bring them
One
through.
was so full that kids are taking turns like sleeping on the ground because there's no room.
Damn. Oh shit.
It's fucking wild.
Jeez, yeah.
Isn't there like some crazy shit going on right now where there's a lot of migrants coming through Mexico,
Oh, El Paso,
right?
where they stormed the.
And they're not Mexican, they're like Central American or whatever.
Honduran and
Honduran,
stuff,
yeah. and
They
then
just ran through. It was like
Yeah.
a couple thousand of them.
Yeah. But then again, they
1,000 all at one time.
yeah, they just bum rushed it.
Crazy videos of just them storming through the Capitol. The Capitol. Sorry, guys. I've just been watching some videos.
Back to your old experiences.
Exactly. They stormed through the gates and they just ran through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what's interesting to me is like, so from 80s, 90s and on, right? I remember all of these presidential speeches were like, there's a place for refugees. Like after the Vietnam War, they had so many like camps set up, bringing people in. Central America, all that stuff. They would constantly bring people in, and then they had this different kind of motto. Now, on both ends of the spectrum, right or left, they're saying don't come. And I'm just like, that's so weird. Like when the vice president,
Kamala Harris.
when she made a speech about don't come, I was like,
It was crazy.
When Democrats are saying don't come, what the fuck is happening?
It means they're in charge again. So now they have to say don't come. And then when Republicans are in charge, they have to say don't come.
So it's whoever's not in charge, they get to scrutinize and say, what?
You have the best plan, and once we're in, we'll do it differently, and then they just do the same shit every time.
Because Republicans, they always had the motto of like, oh, we're good Christians, we have to let them in. And then Democrats were more like, oh, we gotta let them in because like, whatever. Humanitarian, right? So they both had their own reasons to let them in, but they also have their own reasons to not let them up.
Right.
And it's so fucking, what's the right one?
Yeah.
I mean, in the grander scheme, isn't letting more people coming in a higher potential for a growing economy?
It's supposed to
Yeah.
be theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically, but then there's also, so in the past, I believe most people that were coming in assimilated much easier, because before there weren't, it wasn't like the culture and education was so freaking different that when they came to the States, it was so much harder to integrate them. But now it's like different people from different countries it's not the same countries. Like it's not like people from Japan, Vietnam, European, Eastern European, or whatever. It's a whole new different group, and I think we're facing a whole different set of like these cultural clashes.
Challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all so politicized. That's the part that sucks. Because it's like,
Right.
you watch Bill Clinton in the 90s and he's like, we gotta tamp down on immigration. You watch George W., he says the same shit.
Yeah.
You watch Obama, he says the same shit.
Trump said the same shit.
Trump said the same
He
shit.
didn't let any of the refugees that were running from the Middle East come.
Obama deported more people than Trump did.
Yep.
But it's all the same like uniparty shit. We all are aware of it. But then everyone in political season, then they make it all these big issues, but then they don't do anything about it.
But there'll be random moments when they do open up the gates, though. That's the weird thing, is like, why is it that some situations they'll be like, give me your tired, poor, sick, and hungry, or whatever.
Yeah.
If there's cameras there.
Or if there's votes to be won.
Yeah.
Could be.
AOC are outside those cages, remember that?
Oh,
Wearing all white, doing
the farce photo shoot that she had to.
If you're gonna like cry, like why you gotta put your arm up like this shit?
I
Shit was
think
wild.
She did a photo shoot over
This
there?
might be a
yeah.
cynical take, but I actually think like there's probably a flow that they have to figure. Like, we need about 10 million more people. All right, let's let them in, and then cut it. And then we're like, let's see what happens. And then we're like, oh, we need more, like 5 million more. And then they bring them in.
There's also the whole thing about like preferred people that they want in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Indian engineers,
Well, the ultimate
CEOs.
the ultimate cynical and maybe even real estate is like, we know big businesses like Tyson's Chicken and all this stuff want like very cheap labor,
Yeah, they do.
We just did a story about that, remember?
and they can use
Yep.
their immigration status against them if they try to get raises and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just
right.
totally exploitative.
Well, I think they want migrant workers temporarily. They don't want citizens. Because the difference is citizens are entitled to certain better rights.
Yeah.
You can get vacation workers from different countries to work our factories or whatever, and just keep rotating them out.
Well, yeah,
So
no
it's
one
like-
wants a union for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it might be like those reasons. There's so many different reasons. Like, the only reason why the U.S. is still a profitable Western nation because we don't have a population decline like the way that a lot of European countries are.
Yeah.
So
But the crazy thing too is like, you know, the green card lottery. Do you guys know about that? So like certain countries, you could sign up for this lottery system where you basically submit your name and there's a chance that you'll just randomly get a green card to the United States.
Yeah.
Wow.
For some freaking reason.
That happened to my buddies.
I've never heard of it for like anyone Asian, but like Smack got that, and so did like 3 of her friends.
Really?
Whoa.
Are they all Australian?
Yeah. So it's kind of like
It's a lottery.
yeah, it's like, is it really a lottery, or are they just kind of like, hey, we want these ones, and maybe not so much these ones?
Of course it's not a lottery. When the fuck did we ever think shit was actually the way it was?
That's so cynical.
That's so
You,
true.
Anthony.
It is a hard subject though, man, because like it's like it's a nation of immigrants, right? And then like gatekeeping that and also saying like which ones will shine and which ones won't.
Right.
You know, like how would you fucking know?
Yeah.
Because in every wave of immigration from poor groups, right, there's gonna be like criminal enterprises that come along.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That happened with Irish, that happened with like Jewish, that happened with Italian.
Yeah.
And then now like they're integrated and Americanized to the point where like they're not looked upon as the poor population with criminal enterprises, right? There's like now they're like so American, now they're judging other immigrants that are coming in when they used to be not considered white.
Right.
So then every era, I think we're gonna have these like, oh no, we're more American than you. Whereas like, dude, that's so stupid because your ancestors were also like being treated like you weren't as American.
Yeah.
That's the cycle.
It's the
That's-
cycle, yeah.
All the time.
It's like with gangs in New York.
Yeah.
Like they called themselves the natives, but they were just a few generations away from the other guys.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why
Good movie though.
It's a great movie.